Let's go back to our specific sector and let's talk about distribution with Lorenzo Pascucci, founder and CEO of Contra District Group.
Eccoci.
Here we are. Well, can we talk about distribution with you? Yes, for sure. Well, it was quite doubtful on that. Can you tell us how your initiative originated and what's the peculiar character of your business model? How did it come to light? You are now over 20 million euro for sales, so you are a medium-sized player. Well, we are very happy. First, good morning, everyone. How did it come out with? It came from a market insight, an observation on my own side, my own observation of a gap between the offer and the demand of a real estate, a property product. It was quite a bleak period after the Lehman crisis, the beginning of this partnership, with Ernesto Cucine. Well, your first partner brand, Ernesto Cucine, yes. Yeah, so that was truly a challenge. We wanted to offer services and design branding activities, which has always been much stronger than the real estate one, which is currently evolving a lot, with a view to provide a boost, to boost up the real estate sale, with services integrated with kitchens at the time to valorize the whole house. The prospect was going to see. Hence, new ideas came up, new projects for expansion and offer stretching came up on the whole interior design product to interact with the walls in the house, with implementations and fallback on all systems in the house. A project to be scaled, as it happened back in 2016, scaled up to start a brand platform covering fixed furniture and lighting sectors to provide developers with the possibility to greatly invest on the Milanese market. It was the period after the Expo here in Milan, to cover all the services in the range of prospect buying a residential property can choose from: finishes, taps, sanitary fittings, all that part you can enjoy a customer experience, which is, again, another element characterizing, a fil rouge to characterize our own activity. So you are supporting the real estate operator when the customer decides to buy the property, even before, we step in even before. This is a reverse engineering service on the integration of interior design So the composable part of interior design, defining the comfort level of containers in a house, working hand in hand with the developer and the designer to create a layout which can welcome an industrial product with all its special modeling characteristics at industrial level, but with a number of products, and we have a department in our company for that, that creates so-called interior packs, specific solutions for each single residence, which is conveyed with the property during the proposal phase. So you are a tool to enhance sales proposals, and branding is for sure one of the values in all this. The great marketing brand asset turns into a vehicle, as we heard from Buffy before, which is a true value. So we are working in projects where the brand element turns into a value for the customer and all the stakeholders. How much technology do you have in your company's system? Brands are well known. Well, our commitment to scale up, the goal was to grow, as we have luckily done, and we have a major pipeline for the coming years accompanying us to Cortina 2026, the Winter Olympic Games. And this journey, well, we were about 8 people back in 2016, but then we invested a lot on processes and on a system which currently has a dashboard for all the 90 people working in our own company to manage flows and processes. So we have an internal ERP system triggered by the definition of the very first project, a sales order, coming to planning, delivery, post-sales. All the functional departments in our company have this dashboard, and all IT systems, video designing, coming from our own collaborating companies. And these allow us to always have a totally paperless control over all the designing phase. Connected as regards those furniture, we believe to deliver within 3 years. Our lead time is 3 years from the first kitchen project to its delivery. Well, it takes quite long, and we actually have to keep our direction in this period, involving all the people in the project, first paper, then EVG, and so on. How many suppliers do you currently have? As for interior design, we currently have about 10, 12. So, through an industrial partnership with a tech company, which, well, we are developing a configurator for a digital definition of the furniture setting, and hence we can partner in the cloud, not a virtual but a physical cloud. Of course, we are all in the same room. The only aspect which insists on showrooms is made up by our sales advisors, but they do not do any designing. So I heard the intervention by the Buffy CEO before with much interest. The true challenge in the retail sector is that of human resources, of course, but much on processes and technologies to support the scaling up and supervision in the post-sales phase too. The possibility to actually manage sales tickets. So as Buffy was saying, you do provide a whole service. Of course, here we're talking about furniture and design, but in there we have different worlds, and some of them do collaborate a lot, as we heard with Google before. Well, imagine how complex this all is. Furniture is made in Italy excellence with most barriers at entry level. And there's the core there of the complexity of this sector, which lies in the management of the customer satisfaction on a chain which does not come to its end with the delivery of the product, but which continues for years after that. What's the weight of kitchens and bathrooms out of your total sales? About 50% of our sales is for kitchens, and the other half is for systems, bathrooms, and a little bit of lighting. So you have not got to upholstery like tables, chairs, sofas. Well, that's about 10%. Technology nowadays also allows us, and actually we made this great step forward. Our lead time, our funnel is very long. We do meet customers for the definition and customization of a fixed product, wardrobes, walk-in closets and kitchens, and the bathroom too in this preliminary phase, when we have to step into the implementation phase, the executive phase, which we implement with our sales manager who do work on this project, and this takes place about over 1 year before the delivery of the walls, the house. So this loose part is very far away from the customer's engagement phase, and now through an app we have created and that works with our ERP system, which the customer also has on his phone. It's a mobile app that allows us to create calls to action to the customer when it is appropriate to actually get a deep dive into those issues, loose and outdoor. We do work on that depending on the season when the property is delivered. So what about this platform? I believe this is well structured, but is this something you can make available to the single brand? Well, for sure. At the moment, our industrial partners, Buffy, for instance, has their own store. Could that technology be used by Buffy too? Yes, for sure. That's scalable. In the evolution of the furniture industry, if you work on fixtures and components in the design phase, well, every single project is for sure unique, and this complexity makes much of the conversations on finished products which are delivered in a container, in a box. Yes, maybe there's a small assembly, but it's a finished product. Well, they are so far away. We focused on complexity. Last question. Where do you want to evolve? Now you're only in Milan and Rome, right? Yes, Milan and Rome. The sales we generated last year came from Milan only, and only with the brands from the first platform of Milano Contact District. Landing times are quite long. In fact, last year we opened in Rome, and we are taking up several projects, so there's an interest over there to accompany this evolution B2B to C on real estate and design too. And since we are well structured as a reality, we have enough pipeline to manage these two cities. Well, thank you. Congratulations.